It's a sound like I've never heard before.
Was this subtle, like, did I hear that?
No, it was actually somewhat loud. I heard it about 3 or 4 times, always in the same spot, always over my son's crib, and always right before we would go to bed.
When we first heard all of these stories, it sounded odd and hard to believe that some invisible ray gun was hitting these people and hurting them.
It was like this piercing feeling on the side of my head. It was like, I remember it was on the right side of my head, and I got like vertigo.
But these are top officials in the US government. They've gone through lots of vetting. Many of them have security clearances.
I'm here because I'm tired of the gaslighting that keeps happening from the US government.
And when they got sick, the US government tended to doubt their stories, and we wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt.
The worst pain I have ever felt, it felt like a vice gripping my brainstem was there.
We did our best to investigate what had happened to them, and we now believe there are directed energy weapons that can do this, and we believe in a subset of the large body of cases that that's what happened.
This was a directed standoff attack against my apartment.
It was a weapon,
Of course it was a weapon.
an energy weapon.
Absolutely.
My name is Oriana Zil de Granados, and I'm a producer at 60 Minutes.
My name is Michael Ray. I'm a producer at 60 Minutes. Havana Syndrome.
We've spoken to over 65 people who say they were targeted by a directed energy weapon.
In 2016 and 2017, there was a series of attacks on U.S. diplomats and intelligence officers in Havana, Cuba. They sustained head injuries, traumatic brain injuries, difficulties hearing, cognitive difficulties, and nobody could quite say what it was. So it created this sort of global mystery known as the Havana Syndrome.
For me, it was November of 2017 when I started to feel lightheaded a lot. I was getting more headaches.
We met Mark Lindsay. He is a State Department official who's responsible for keeping embassies safe and making sure they're not being attacked electronically. He had been posted in Guangzhou, China. He and his family, including young children, had ongoing experiences with pressure, pain, noise in their apartment.
It was intense pressure on both of my temples. At the same time, I heard this low humming sound, and it was oscillating.
And he found out that his other neighbor was also.
My symptoms would get so bad that I would throw up, or I would wake up with nosebleeds.
And both of them, his family and the neighbor, their health was going downhill rapidly. They were developing cognitive issues, vision, hearing, headaches, all sorts of problems.
The most concerning symptom for me was memory loss, especially short-term memory loss.
He's been struggling. He's still getting treatment, and he's battling these long-term cognitive issues, balance issues with his vision, his hearing.
There is no shadow of a doubt in my mind that this was a directed attack against my neighbor and I.
Something I felt like hit me from the left side, and at first it felt like an electric shock, and then it paralyzed me.
So Robin and Bria Garfield were among the first victims that we'd spoken to. He was a trade officer, commerce officer, posted in Shanghai, China. Over a period of months, experienced a series of incidents with loud noises, pressure, vibrations, and the whole family started getting that, even unfortunately the children.
They say the children suffered blurred vision and loss of balance. Blurred vision and loss of balance.
We went on a walk, and she just fell on her face. It was very abnormal. She never does that. And then a second time, she completely lost her balance and just fell to the side.
We spent about a year reporting the next case. Basically looked at domestic incidents where there were reported cases on White House grounds.
It was very much the feeling of vertigo and dizziness, and I felt like I couldn't really walk.
We couldn't quite believe this was happening in the U.S. How could it be happening?
This is the world's preeminent intelligence agency. Why is this so hard to figure out?
It's a very complicated issue.
In 2022, we interviewed Director William Burns, who was the head of the CIA at the time, who followed along with what the agency had been saying about this issue, that they found it still unlikely that there was a foreign adversary behind these incidents.
You understand how frustrating your comments must be to some of these people who believe they know exactly what happened to them, on what day and at what time, and what happened to their children. And yet the director of the CIA is saying, we can't connect the dots. We don't know enough yet.
We're not at a position yet where we can offer hard evidence that would connect all those dots. But we're not done yet. We still have a lot of work to do.
As we built a database of victims, we started to see, well, most of these people have issues related to Russia in their jobs. Whether they were at CIA or Department of Defense, they all kind of touched the Russian issue.
Greg Ed Green ran the investigation for the Defense Intelligence Agency.
This was happening to our top 10% performing officers across the Defense Intelligence Agency. And consistently, there was a Russia nexus.
Everyone theorized that there were only a few countries who could have done something like this around the world. One of them obviously was Russia, top suspect. So we decided to partner with investigative journalists who work at a Russian dissident magazine called the Insider.ru. And we found one particular document in the bowels of the Kremlin that indicated that a Russian intelligence officer had been paid to test just such a weapon.
This particular unit had been engaged with somewhere, somehow, empirical tests of a directed energy unit.
There it is.
There it is.
Written down in black and white.
It's the closest to a receipt you can have for this.
The day the story airs, the U.S. government's policy on Havana Syndrome is that it's still unlikely that a foreign adversary is involved in this.
Do you believe the victims?
Absolutely.
Dr. David Bowman is a microbiologist from Stanford University. And in 2020, he was asked to head up an experts panel for the National Academy of Sciences to look into the Havana Syndrome incident. That was followed a few years later by another study that was initiated by the intelligence community itself.
The most plausible explanation for a subset of these cases was a form of radio frequency or microwave energy.
At the exact same time, the U.S. government is saying, we don't see any evidence of any device or any attack, and we don't see a way that this could be done. The panel was initially distributed among highly classified intelligence officials, but it was very quickly pulled back, and people even today can't get access to the reports.
Do you believe that your studies were downplayed by the U.S. government?
By parts of the U.S. government, absolutely. And not only downplayed, but dismissed. In some cases, buried.
For this report, the Department of Defense declined to comment. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, which oversees 18 agencies, including the CIA, told us that a new review of AHI will be comprehensive and complete, and we remain committed to delivering the truth.
Today, more than 4 sources have told us about a new weapon that's been discovered by the U.S. government. This device uses the technology that Wellman's panels theorized could be used to inflict these same injuries. We know also that the source was Russia.
Our confidential sources tell us the still classified weapon has been tested in a U.S. military lab for more than a year. Tests on rats and sheep show injuries consistent with those seen in humans.
Michael and I have written a book about our 9-year investigation that's coming out in September. And our biggest hope with writing this book is that the 60 Minutes stories tell part of the story, but we wanted to tell the full story.
And part of that story is looking into the cover-up, which we believe has taken place within the intelligence community. We're trying to pull out more of the victim stories to get much more detail about how this happens, what happens, impact on families, the impact on the government.
We did it for the victims because they deserve to have their true stories told.